Hello and welcome to another Home Assistant video. This one is going to be a more basic one and I'm going to show you how to control Zigbee devices into Home Assistant. If you're interested in video related to a specific device, I already have a few of those on my channel, so you can check it out. Now let's get started, and we basically have three different ways to control Zigbee devices into Home Assistant. The first one is indirectly through a third-party integration. So for example, if you already have a U hub and a U ecosystem, you can use the U integration to control those devices, but in this case the control is done by the U hub and not directly from Home Assistant. So it's working, but the response time is a little slower than if the devices are directly connected to the Home Assistant. The second one is the native integration, which is the Zigbee Home Automation, and this is the one that I'm going to show you in this video. And the third one is the Zigbee II MTTQ, but I'm not going to dive much into this integration because I just now started to experimenting with it, so maybe it's going to be a video in the future. Now, in order to use the Zigbee Home Automation, we are going to need a Zigbee coordinator, which usually is in the form of a USB dongle. In my case, I'm using the Conbee II, which is a little outdated, but it's working fine and I haven't had much issues so far. And I'm going to leave you in the description the version that I'm using for Home Assistant, but we can also quickly check it out here on screen. Now let's start by adding the Zigbee Home Automation integration. So in order to do that, we need to go into Settings, Devices and Services. And here, as you can see, Home Assistant has already recognized my Conbee II. But let's skip it for now and let's try to do the process from the scratch. So we need to go in the bottom and click on Add Integration. Here we can search for Zigbee. Then we need to click onto Zigbee Home Automation. The discovered is already Conbee II, but if we maybe didn't work out, let's click to add the Zigbee device. We need a supported hardware, it's okay. Let's click on Proceed. Here we can select the port, so as you can see, it's already recognized, it keeps recognizing my Conbee II. So let's click onto the USB dongle device. Now let's give it a few moments to add it and configure the integration. Now it's prompted to configure the network. I don't know if it's happening only because I already have the dongle configured for another system, but if it's showing also to you, if you want to do everything from scratch, we need to click on the last one, so erase network settings, create a new network. And now let's give it a few moments again to configure the network. Okay, so everything is configured. We can select an area for our controller, but it's not needed. So let's click on Finish. And now, as you can see, between the configure and integration, we have Zigbee Home Automation. If we click on it, we can configure the network. So we can change, for example, the channel, do this only if needed. If you only have one Zigbee network, it's not needed, and we can leave everything else as default. Now, if we want to add new devices, we need to click under the Zigbee Home Automation integration, where we show how many devices are already configured. We can click on Device. And now on the bottom we can click on Add Device. Here I have with me an IKEA switch I can use for this demonstration, and the only thing that you need to do for your device is to put them in pairing mode, which is what I'm doing right now. And once the device enters the pairing mode, it should be discovered in a matter of seconds exactly. So now the device is being found, now it's being configured. In a few moments it should be ready to be used. Okay, now the device is ready to be used. We can add a name as usual. So let's put IKEA switch 01. Era is not needed for our purposes. And now if we can go back into settings and devices, let's open the devices tab. We can see that we have our IKEA switch. So now it's reporting a few information, but it depends on the device that you are being using. Usually there's the battery, and here on the logbook, if we press, for example, a button on the switch, we can see all the actions that are being fired related to this device. So this is it, and this is how to add Zigbee devices into Home Assistant and to control them directly from Home Assistant. So you don't need any third-party integration, you don't need any third-party hub, and you don't need to have those hub connected to internet to be working. As stated in the beginning, I have videos dedicated to specific devices on how to add them into Home Assistant and what triggers and actions are available. So if you are interested in those, you can check out my channel, and I see you on the next video.